Football Night in America, to coin a phrase from NBC. Welcome to the Play Space and tonight's training camp tour of the 2023 Football America League. Keith Avalone from Play Games. Sam is, as usual, producing tonight's show. We're going to talk about each of the league's 12 teams, how they stack up for 2023. This is our 14th year of Football America, and it's exciting to have another season cranking up. Then after we go through the training camp tour, we will do a exhibition game between Detroit and San Antonio. We're going to kind of keep it in the spirit of the current NFL preseason activity where the starters play for the first series and then you see the reserves. So I think it'll be fun. Quick mention of how the ratings were generated for this set. I talked about this at the convention. So rather than like dice rolling for each player to decide whether they get better or worse, I generally kind of take an overview, kind of a high profile view of the league as a whole, and kind of look at where they were last year and decide where I want them to go this year, where it feels like they should go based on the storyline we developed last year. So I created essentially a spreadsheet, which sort of mapped out the strengths and weaknesses of each of the teams. Then I built the teams around that architecture. So that's how the teams found themselves in the places that they're at. And team by team, we'll start at the bottom and move our way up. And I'm going to stick pretty close to the script that comes with the set itself. There's a season overview that the card set will come with. And I'll pretty much stick to that in terms of talking about the highlights of each team. We'll start at the bottom. And the lowest ranked team this year, the team that's going to probably struggle, is going to be San Antonio. They've had some decent seasons in the past, but this year's going to be a rough one, mainly because of injuries. They had a rash of injuries that have knocked out a pretty good portion of their offense, including the starting quarterback, Billy Whittle. Their top running back, Tanner Matsos, is out. Their couple of their key offensive linemen, Lee Ursich, who they picked up in free agency last year, and Tyler Hinojosa, they're all out for the year. And that's going to really cripple them. They've got Garrett Woodall in at quarterback. Their defense is not too bad, actually pretty respectable, but they're going to have to win a lot of 10-9 games in order to make any kind of contention for the Football America playoffs. So we're putting San Antonio at the bottom of the barrel for 2023. Moving our way up is New England. They have kind of a leftover bad vibe from last year. You may remember if you participated in Football America last year, they had a holdout. Omi Kalaho, their star all-pro guard, decided he wasn't being paid enough by the New England team management, so he held out all year. He wound up signing a big contract with Oklahoma City. But it kind of left sort of a bad taste in everybody's mouth. We have other grumbling players. They had a bit of a quarterback controversy between Braylon Pulaski and Kel Juneman. Juneman was traded to Memphis just to get him out of the building. So it's just kind of got a bad vibe going on. Hassan Driggs, who has been their workhorse running back, injured last year, in and out of the lineup, kind of hasn't really recovered. So they're going to probably struggle both on offense and on defense. Defensively, they have Amir Holyfield, who's kind of getting up there. Uriah Smiley's still strong in the defensive backfield, but not much of a pass rush. And aside from inside linebacker Markevian Cope, who continues to star, but he is in his contract year and might not be in New England next year. So things are a little bit cloudy for the New England club in Football America. They are at number 11. At number 10 is an improving New York team. They were the bottom of the barrel last year. They are showing incremental improvement, starting with their top draft pick, Desmiel Harper, who's a workhorse running back, expected to make some noise on the ground for New York. Quarterback Mason Cubido has taken over as the starting quarterback. Not exactly all-pro caliber, but solid enough, and that settles last year's quarterback dilemma. Wide receiver E.J. Collette is their star guy here. Reed Rutkowski is an interesting player, picked up off the fringe player list last year. He looks to has impressed in training camp. We will say that. These guys are probably not going to make the playoffs this year. As we take a look at their defense, Tupac Rockmon, another solid year from him. Jatavius Swopes will put some pressure from the outside. Some weakness in the defensive backfield, but they'll have some heat from up front. These guys are probably not going to make much noise in terms of a playoff push, but they'll definitely be better than they were last year. So we have them at number 10. At number 9, we have the Orlando. Is it 9? I guess it is 12, 11. Yeah, I guess we have Orlando here. So before we go any further, I want to say that when I was creating the structure for this league, I decided to make it to bring a lot of parity to the league. So the middle of the league is I don't want to say interchangeable, but with a little bit of luck, these bottom teams could certainly make a playoff push, could definitely make a playoff run for a wild card slot. Similarly, the top teams, in the middle third or the middle half of the league, the top teams with some bad breaks could fall out of contention. The bottom teams with some good breaks could definitely make a run. So anybody from here on up is playoff caliber. In fact, you almost could put New York in there. I'm not quite ready to put New York in the playoff run category, but certainly Orlando is. They've got an awesome offense. This is Matt Harrell's, I guess his 18th year in the league. He is now pushing 40 years old, and this is going to be pretty much it for him, I think, in terms of winning a title. He's built up a pretty good offense around him, or the front office has. He's got a all-star tight end in Matt Crespo. Yusuf Rael is one of the top wide receivers in the league. They're weak at running back, not much there, but they may not need to run the ball much with Harrell throwing 40, 50 passes per game. Plenty of firepower, and look at that offensive line. Jarrell Strange, Hoyt Condi, Randon Woodsma, and Will Shorter. Really, clearly the best offensive line in the league. Now, on defense, not so good. They're gonna be in every game, mainly because their defense is probably going to allow that. Weakness in the linebacking crew, not much pass rush at all. A defensive back that is barely, capable, we'll call them, and special teams that are, I would say, middling. So they're going to put a lot of points on the board. The question is, can they hold the opponents out of the end zone enough to win, 7, 8 games and propel themselves into the playoffs? Just above Orlando will be Golden Bay, another team that's had a pretty good run of success the last few years. They also were hit by the injury bug. Multiple injuries in the offensive line and the backfield could undo what probably would have been a championship season, or could have easily been. Zach LaMonaco and Kiki Ayahi are two of the better offensive linemen in the league, but you can see they're not rated that well. That's because they're hurt. They're going to play through the season. E.J. Van Dyne, however, is lost for the year, and that's gonna it's always tough to win when your offensive line is not solid. They do have C.J. Morazzo, who is also battling injuries. Deuce Cottle is back from injuries last year. He, in the past, has been a really solid running back. This year, we'll call him solid, but certainly not spectacular. On defense, things are better for Golden Bay. They'll certainly the defense is not going to let games slip away. It's a pretty solid defense led by Truth Jones. Zach Gugamos, the strong safety, is one of the better run defenders. Nikendra Lott is the best cornerback in football America. They've got decent special teams. They picked up a rookie, Lucky Montesi, who's a threat to break it all the way. So they've got the special teams. They got the defense. The offense could be good enough to secure a playoff spot. With a little bit of good fortune, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. At number 6, we have San Diego. San Diego is, I guess these guys are number 7. San Diego's number 7. I'm losing track of my numbers here. San Diego it was a championship club 2 years ago. They had the championship hangover last year. They are rebounding from that. They'll be a better club this year than they were last. Jeff Russell is starting to get up there, 34 years old, but still, able to run the offense and dangerous out of the pocket. He's got plenty of weapons. They did sign O'Shawn Tresser from Memphis, a big run-blocking tight end to clear the way for Detrell Seeley, who's, again, one of the better backs in the league. They got plenty of offensive weapons for Russell, a solid, if not good, spectacular offensive line. Not quite as good as Orlando's, but certainly great. So these guys are going to be are going to be a threat on offense. Special teams. They signed Kyler Noakes, who was out of the league last year. Has kind of sharpened up his game again. He's back in the league, kicking for San Diego. David Garrett's a rookie punter, so special teams are not quite where you'd want them to be. Defensively, kind of middle of the pack, not bad. Their big nose tackle rookie, Vadalele Murgara, is going to be the centerpiece of the defense. Some good players: Yusuf Coffey, Jaron Ismay, Cade Canis. So they've got some decent defense. There are some, they're a little spotty against the run, but they should be able to hang in there. I would say San Diego is certainly in the hunt for a playoff spot, if not the division title. Next up is St. Louis, coming in at number 6. This is a club that has been up and down the last few years, driven mainly by their workhorse running back, Bentavious Ely Jr., sort of the Derrick Henry of Football America, gets a lot of carries. Connor Hoxie, the quarterback, one of the solid guys. He's not going to be anybody's all-pro team, but he certainly gets the job done and doesn't make a lot of mistakes. They've got good supporting cast, big rookie tight end, Mahamani Latui, very exciting player in wide receiver Toby Upchurch, who also has a lot of excitement as a kick returner. Their defense, the offensive line is strong. Defensively, very solid all across the board. Clyde Absher is one of the league's interesting stories. He's their starting middle linebacker, kind of a character, but also is their punter. The only guy in the league who is a full-time punter and a full-time player as well. They've got their kicker trained to back up punt if Absher were to go down with an injury. So St. Louis is a solid team, and certainly in the conversation for for the playoffs, if not the divisional title. Moving up the ladder at number 5 is the Portland Club. And really what's big for them is that Bryce Bollinger is back. He was out last year with an injury. Braden Peace stepped in. He is recovered and is now back full strength. He's got all his weapons around him. Tight end Paul Habermel is one of the league's best. Tremaine Clark at wide receiver. They picked up a running back, Boston Dunston. They lost Khalil Aldridge, their franchise running back, to free agency. He signed with Chicago. So they picked up Boston Dunston in the college draft, and he should be more than serviceable. Good threat out of the backfield to catch the ball, also a good runner. And they got some decent depth at running back as well, to back him up. Offensive line is good. Brock Roush, kind of out of nowhere, has developed into one of the league's top offensive tackles, a low-round draft choice, who's just kind of worked his way up. They've got plenty of other players there. Defensively, they are certainly strong enough to make some noise. Stone Wilson anchors the middle. Their edge rusher Kiki Nagalafi is their top draft pick. Will make some noise as well. Anwar Sharp, strong run defender, solid defensive backfield. Good special teams. Layden Churchwell was picked up from the fringe player scrap heap and showing some good stuff in preseason exhibition kick returning activity. So Portland, I think, will be is certainly ranked in the top half of the league and a threat to win their division as well. At number 4 is the Chicago Club. And again, stability at quarterback is really what's going to propel for them a hoped-for bounce-back season. They were kind of middle of the pack, sort of bottom third last year, but they've got their quarterback problem solved. Brett Luckenbaugh is now the backup. Bo Stover has kind of emerged, kind of established himself. He's an unorthodox quarterback. He's able to run inside and outside. He's sort of like Josh Allen, we'll say, and kind of a bomber, kind of a gambler, and seems to have a nice fit with the Chicago mentality. He's got some people around him. Khalil Aldridge, as I mentioned, was signed from Portland in the free agent market, so he'll take over and really anchor down that running back position. They got a big tight end, big pass catching tight end, Slade Katsugiannis, who will take over at tight end, the rookie. Tajir Nixon, a longtime productive wide receiver. Cordy Whitaker also. Decent offensive line with Kyle Shoyne, the perennial All-Pro. Bobby Nimmo, one of the league's top kickers, will bang those field goals through from long distance. And defensively, defense has always been a strength for the Chicago franchise in Football America, and 2023 will be no different. They got, it's not an overpowering defense, but it certainly is solid. They got Tremont Mourning, the free safety, Dyson Burke Garnett. They play a 5 defensive back lineup with Burke Garnett playing kind of a safety position at outside linebacker. They picked up Von Ivory. They signed him from Orlando, and that was a huge signing. So he will, beef up the Chicago pass rush, which is already not too bad with Darius Jackson and Omarion LaPointe. So Chicago, I think, is headed for the playoffs. But again, as I said, there's a lot of parity in the middle of the league with some, not optimal results, maybe an injury or two or a couple of bad breaks. They could find themselves in the bottom half of the league. But potentially, they've got the potential to make a playoff run. At number 3, Oklahoma City. This is another club that's kind of been climbing for the last few years. Let me straighten out my stack here. And again, we're going to the quarterback position for the main story here, Dallas Hedrick, who has wrested away the starting job from Corey Bondarenko. Bondarenko was a big free agent signing a couple years ago. Signed him from Golden Bay, hoping for him to be the answer. He just has not worked out, and Hedrick came up as a rookie and just outplayed Bondarenko. So Dallas Hedrick is the starting quarterback, solid and the job is firmly in his grasp. And Bondarenko's kind of on the outside looking in. It's like he's probably not going to be in Oklahoma City next year. Garrison Newsome's one of the top running backs in Football America. They've got Juju Golden, who is probably the best wide receiver in the league. A decent offensive line. There's Omi Kalaho, the guy they signed from New England to anchor the offensive line. So they're looking strong. You've got a great offensive line, really a solid offense. Defensively, they are also decent. Again, not overpowering, but Kevin Matting on the outside to provide heat. A very strong set of linebackers, anchored by C.J. Cotner, and a good defensive backfield that might have some weakness against the pass, a little bit soft perhaps against the pass, but not overly so, and certainly a tough team to run against. Oklahoma City at number 3. Number 2 is Memphis. Memphis is just an all-around solid team. They had a winning season last year, and a couple of key newcomers this year. One of them being Kyle England, who was signed from Detroit, one of the top offensive linemen, and their top draft choice on defense, Jaden Nicholas Paul, who is going to step in at the free safety position to add some help to Von Crocker, who's a all-league player, Aramis McCowan at defensive end, Daryl Wickstrom. This is a team that's got a really solid, really tough defense, probably the toughest team in the league to run against, and a decent enough offense with Keon Portress, the up the middle threat, just a jackhammer kind of running back. Not overpowering on the pass, although Givari Langhorne is one of the better wideouts in the league, and Joe Maddox is super solid at quarterback, an all-pro contender. So Memphis is in great shape to make a playoff run, and that takes us to our top team, which is again Detroit. Detroit was one of the top teams last year, and again is really it's more of the same. A stable roster of talented players. Certainly a strong candidate for a deep playoff run. Chris Anzalone, one of the league's great quarterbacks year in, year out. Running back Artavius Taylor, again, a star runner year in, year out. Got John Sheets at the wideout position, grab a lot of passes. Mose Looper, less spectacular, but just as prolific. A decent offensive line with Eric Farrow, the longtime all-star guard, Royce Jerkovic, and on defense they've also got plenty of power, plenty of talent with Kevin Gerard at the outside. Marsh Britton is a little bit declined this year, but Daniel Cyphers, who they signed last year as a big free agent pickup, will again have a productive year sacking the quarterback. A solid defensive backfield led by Jonathan Moton and Diego Dishman. There's really not a lot to not like about Detroit, and so they're going to enter 2023 as the favorite. Although, in truth, I have both Detroit and Memphis with a grade of A. So really, you could interchange those top two. I would say Detroit and Memphis are the two teams to really watch out for. In fact, that could be the championship game at the end of the 2023 season. Detroit and Memphis. So that is the training camp tour. Let me show you the rest of the package here real quick. So with the card, you'll get these goodies. You'll get the preseason overview that I just kind of read for you, which has the synopsis of each team. We have a regular season schedule, which has it's 14 weeks. And it has, the game of the week highlighted in black, and then this is the division alignment that I suggest. But of course, you can set it up any way you want. Eastern Division has Memphis, New England, New York, Orlando. Central Division with Chicago, Detroit, Oklahoma City, and St. Louis. And then the West has Golden Bay, Portland, San Diego, and San Antonio. So there's your schedule. This is the intro card, which has the sort of an overview, some of the explanation, some of the things. The U field goal rating, which we've used in the NFL sets, is now a thing in Football America, and it's explained here, and some other things as well. Here's our instant results table. And this is the really cool new thing is we've added, instead of having a fringe player list, we've added a 4-team developmental X League. It's like a spring league for Football America. We've named the franchises Pittsburgh, Dallas, Minnesota, Denver. But again, it really allows you a lot of flexibility. There's a lot of ways you can use this. You can, for one thing, you could have a little X League if you wanted to, where you could just have a spring league where these guys play each other. It would be very bad football, like we've come to expect from the various spring leagues, but there you go. Alternatively, you can set them up where each of these teams is sort of supplies a trio of other teams. So the Denver team might be the provide fringe players for some of the West Coast teams like Portland and Golden Bay, and whereas Minnesota might provide the fringe players for Chicago and Detroit and St. Louis. So you can set it up that way, or you can just draw and you just use them as fringe players. And when you need a player, just pick one from somewhere and don't use them at all. But each team is designed to be set up, is designed to be used either as a roster filler or as a complete team. There's players in each position. We use generic sack ratings here, generic finder columns for the players in case you move somebody to somewhere else. So it's very useful and kind of a step up from the fringe player list. So that comes also with the set. I also want to mention that we will have, once again, thanks to Al Wilson, a Football America Fast Drive Football component. Al has gone through and rated each of these teams. I sent him the information. We kind of talked it over back and forth about some of these teams. And Al has rated each team for Fast Drive Football. There's Orlando and New England. There's Detroit. Let's take a look at Detroit and Memphis, our top two teams. Where's Memphis? I think they're right here. So we've got Memphis. And again, these are great descriptors. These really kind of sum up in a few words what these teams are all about, as opposed to, my rant here or my droning on about it. So Memphis is semi-reliable, efficient on offense, whereas Detroit is prolific, semi-prolific, semi-dynamic, and also reliable. Defensively, staunch, semi-staunch, semi-stiff, punishing, and somewhat undisciplined, whereas Memphis is semi-disciplined, semi-punishing, and semi-stiff. Similar special teams. So these guys are definitely the cream of 2023 Football America. Let's take a quick look, though, at Chicago. How does Chicago stack up? So semi-efficient, not much on offense, but you can see they're defensively they're comparable, and again, special teams superior. So anyway, this will be available when the second season version of Football America is released next week. We're still in the exhibition season, so we will release this 1 week from today. Should we do our exhibition game? How are we doing on time? We doing all right?
We're 26 minutes already.
Oh, well.
We can. Want to go for it?
Yeah, we'll do a quick exhibition game.
Okay.
I'm game for it. Is there interest in the community?
I don't know. Do you want to bring it to a poll? We'll just do it.
We'll just do it. So here's what the package looks like. It comes like this. Detroit and San Antonio. We'll make this a fast game.
Play the best and worst teams.
Right. So Detroit is the best. Let's find San Antonio. There they are. All right. Exhibition season is on. Let me get my numbers out here. 0. Let's see. We'll have San Antonio will be the black. I'll put it. Where can I put this? I always have trouble putting these numbers somewhere. And Detroit will be the blue. I guess it'll work. All right. Detroit will get the ball first. And, I guess I could use the blue. So Detroit is blue. San Antonio is black. All right, so here we go. They're going to start in zone 2. And we will do a run sequence. We're going to use the starters for the first series only. So it's a run sequence against a pass defense. Let's see here. I had it right the first time. Pass sequence versus a run. Hold on. Run sequence versus a pass sequence versus a run defense. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That was so difficult. Any linebacker rated 2 in the pass? No. It's going to be complete. We're going to get 3 zones. So right away, they burn the San Antonio defense. We'll try another run sequence against a safe defense. 21. It's going to be a gain of a zone. Let's do a pass sequence against a safe defense. Let's check the defensive backfield. There are only 1 0 back there, so it's going to be incomplete. That's going to stop the drive. And here's the field goal attempt. It's good. So that will put Detroit on top, 3-0. Now we'll go to the, it's going to be start from zone 2 for San Antonio. Get San Antonio's offense out there with Garrett Woodall. Billy Whittle's on the sideline with his arm in a sling. We'll try a pass sequence to start things off. Against a pass defense. Offense penalty kills the drive. All right. Well, they're going to punt. It will be 4 zones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Detroit will take over here. All right. Detroit offense. San Antonio defense. All right. Now we're going to bring in the second stringer. Start a run sequence against a safe defense. Any runner AAA? Let's check that dagger. No, that's going to be no. So it will be swarmed over. They'll get another. Yeah, we'll get another play though. Third down play. We'll say it's third and short. We'll try another run. Against a run defense though. Run sequence, run defense. And it's a fumble. Let's do the video review. Overturned, so they will get to punt. Fumble after further review. The runner was down by contact before fumbling. 1, 2, 3. All right, so San Antonio will start here with 5 minutes remaining in the period. Still Detroit up 3-0. I'm going to be confused here. Let's do it this way. Is this on screen?
Not really. If it can come down a little, it's like half on screen.
How about now?
Yeah, that's visible.
All right, so Detroit 3, San Antonio 0. There we go. Run sequence against a blitzing defense. It's going to be a couple of yards, but they're going to have to punt. Not much for the San Antonio Scrubs. Let's see here. It's going to be an O result, 3 zones. 1, 2, 3. Detroit will take over here. San Antonio defense, Detroit offense. We'll try a pass sequence with backup quarterback Jimmy Van Zell against the safe defense. Van Zell back to pass, trying to earn that backup job, and he's going to complete it. Is his Q greater than 13? No. He'll get a gain. Oh, it's an XP gain. 3 zones. So that puts Detroit in position. Give it to Art, or to Kevin, or to Demetrian Warren, the rookie. Ooh, against a run defense. The rookie running back getting his shot here. Let's see. We're going to check for, actually, that's going to be, so they actually do not have 2 players ready to run 0. It will be a gain of a zone. We'll have Van Zell back to pass against a blitz. 2 or more defensive backs rated 0. Let's just check. Kareem Connell, I see only 1, actually. So that will be, they're going to stop him. Oh, they're going to pick off, Jimmy Van Zell is going to get picked off. And in the end zone. So San Antonio will take over. As the quarter comes to an end with kind of a sloppy first quarter, Jimmy Van Zell's interception in the end zone. So San Antonio will take over at their own 20. And we got Braden Weed, the rookie, in at quarterback for San Antonio. We'll try a run sequence. Ooh, against a run defense. 54. It's a fumble. We got to check the video review. Oh, that one is not overturned. So Detroit will take over. It's a fumble by rookie running back Terrell Wilson. And now the San Antonio defense will have to dig in. We'll do a run sequence against a blitz. And it's another fumble. Check the review. No, it's upheld. So it is clearly a exhibition game going on here. All kinds of fumbles with the backups in play here. All right, San Antonio back on the field after an exchange of fumbles. And we'll do a run sequence against a pass defense. That should actually go okay. It is a gain of 2 zones. We'll try another run sequence for San Antonio with Mike Lewis carrying the ball against a safe defense. 52. It is a gain. Oh, it's an XR gain. It's a go. 6 zones. Touchdown, San Antonio. So Mike Lewis gets the scoring run. Extra point is good. And San Antonio, the worst team in the league, surprisingly, with a 7-3 lead against the backups. The backups. See, this was so great about the exhibition season. All right, here's the kickoff. Detroit starts in zone 3. And we are not going to go to the starters. It is all backups all the time. All right, here's Jimmy Van Zell trying to make up for that interception. Pass sequence against a safe defense. And we have, looks like we have only, we do have 2 players rated 0 on the offensive line. It's a sack. But we might get we do get a 3rd down play. So Van Zell is sacked. Back to pass again, this time again against the safe defense. And it'll be incomplete. Now we get a punt. So Van Zell throws incomplete. We're going to go in the second half. We're going to go to our fringe player list and put somebody else in at quarterback for Detroit. The punt will be 2 zones. So San Antonio is going to get decent field position with 6 minutes left in the half. All right, we'll try a run sequence against a safe defense. And that will be, let's check the offensive, let's see, now they're 1 minuses, so they are not rated 0. This is going to be a gain for San Antonio. It will be a gain of 2 zones. pass sequence against pass defense. Incomplete. Field goal try from 3 zones out. Out comes Michael Habanowski. He's AA, 11-45. And he misses it. Misses the field goal. So that will give Detroit, will dodge the bullet somewhat. They got some time to make something happen here. Van Zell will try a pass sequence. See if he can do anything. Is his CMP grade C or better? It is. So Van Zell connects for 2 zones to to the rookie Aquarius Debo. Puts him in San Antonio territory at the 2-minute warning. Pass sequence again against a pass defense. 34. 2 or more players in the offensive backfield rated 0 pass. Well, Jimmy Van Zell's a 0, and Demetrian Warren is a 0, so that will be incomplete. And I guess they'll see if they can try a long field goal. Now they'll see if they can try a long field goal. So let's see. He can try a long field goal. So here comes Peyton Fordham, the rookie. AAA. Oh, missed that one bad. And a kneel down to end the half. So at the half, it's an ugly 7-3 lead for, surprisingly, San Antonio. All right. So San Antonio will start the ball with in the second half. And let's get right to it. With San Antonio leading 7-3. 6. Let's see on the kicker. Oh, it's an O result. 4 zones. 1, 2, 3, 4. So San Antonio will start out strong. And Braden Weed will stay in for San Antonio. Going to Troxel Horton. A little pass sequence here against the safe defense. That will be a completion because there are no 2s on the Detroit bench on the second string. Only 1 zone, though. Run sequence for Mike Lewis against a blitzing defense. And it's a fumble. Excuse me, man. A lot of those are happening here. So there's a video review, and it's not overturned. So that means Detroit will take over right here. All right, we're going to bring in another quarterback for Detroit. We'll go to the Minnesota developmental team. Let's bring in Ben Charisse, rookie quarterback out of Georgia Northern. All right, I'll keep his card handy here. I'm not going to write on these cards. All right. So in comes Ben Charisse. See if he can do something. Pass sequence against a safe defense. 15. His grade is B or better. They're going to get 3 zones out of it. Just like that, Ben Charisse has got the Detroit team on the move. We'll try a run sequence against a run defense. Runner is not AAA, so no gain. And we'll try the field goal. And it is good. So 7-6 is our score. So Charisse gets Detroit on the board. And San Antonio will take over inside their own 20. All right, Braden Weed will remain in. He's trying to solidify his hold on the second string quarterback job. Try a run sequence against a blitz. It's going to be a gain because there's no 2s on the defense of 2 zones. We'll try another run sequence against a safe defense. Home team on defense. San Antonio is at home, so the home team is not on defense. That's another 2-zone gain. And look at that. Braden Weed's got him on the march. Try a run sequence again. Oh, against a run defense. Is the runner AA or better? No, that's going to be a no, so it'll be no gain. They're going to have to settle for a field goal. So the drive stalls, 3 zones out for Michael Habanowski, And the kick is good. So that puts San Antonio in the lead again by 4, 10-6. Here's the kickoff. Detroit gets poor field position. Let's see if Charisse can do something with a long field here. 5 minutes to go in the third period. We'll start with a safe run sequence, though. Do we have any linebackers ready to run 0? Let's check on the bottom. Oh, yes, Markel Haynes. So Markel Haynes is slow to respond. He might not make that roster cut. I don't know. It will be one zone. We'll try pass with Charisse against a run sequence, run defense. There are no defensive backs rated 2 in the backfield right now at this point. And Charisse, not a bomber, but he is going to complete it for, it is going to be an XP gain. 3 zones. Charisse is looking good. We might have to sign him to San Antonio for real. Or to Detroit, rather, for real. He's certainly outplaying Jimmy Van Zell. Another pass sequence against a safe defense. 52. 2 or more players on the defensive line rated 0 on the pass. Well, Brandon Brown is a 0. And Jakari Laurent is now a 0 because he's 1-. So that'll be another completion for Charisse for 3 zones. Touchdown. So Charisse gets him in the end zone. Ben Charisse, the unheralded rookie. Lighten it up. The extra point is good, and that puts Detroit on top, 13-10. And here's the kickoff. We're almost in the fourth quarter. Again, San Antonio with poor field position from their 20. And that will leave 1 minute. Last play of the last sequence of the third period. And Weed will try a pass sequence against a blitzing defense. 36. Defense penalty sustains the drive. We go to the fourth quarter. 2 zones, a pass interference penalty, almost to midfield. And here we go. Weed will give to free agent pickup Sean Duckworth against a safe defense. And that will be a big gap for Duckworth. Oh, look at that XR gain. 3 zones. And they are threatening. Back to pass, Braden Weed, looking for backup tight end Trey Arneson, the rookie, against a pass sequence. No defensive backs rated 2. It will be, almost intercepted, incomplete. So the field goal unit comes on, and it's good. And we're tied at 13. As you may know from watching your NFL preseason games, there is no overtime in the preseason. So if we tie, we tie. 13-13. All right, here's the kickoff. 3 zones. So let's see. Detroit will start from their own 30. And Ben Charisse is staying in. Let's go. We'll do a pass sequence against a blitz. 15. He's B or better. Charisse connects for it's an XP gain. Again, he beats the blitz for 3 zones. Try a run with Upton Howell, the free agent pickup, against a safe defense. 64. 2 or more defensive linemen rated run 0. Let's check that again. Charlton is not. That is actually going to be a no this time. They've got enough beef there on the defense to stop him, so they're going to wrestle him down, possibly a 3rd down play. Nope. So they're going to try the field goal. 45. Let's see. Oh, he's unusual, so that will be just good. So that will give Detroit the lead, 16-13. 8 minutes to play in the game. Here's the kickoff. San Antonio starts from, again, not great field position. Now it's 7 minutes to go. And maybe let's bring in a 3rd stringer for them too. Why not, right? It's the preseason. Let's sign. See, San Antonio would probably go with the Dallas, draw from the Dallas team. We'll bring in Akilo Singleton, the scrambling rookie passer. We'll see what he can do. And we'll try a pass sequence right from the get-go against a safe defense. No tight ends or wide receivers are rated 2, so it's going to be incomplete, but they will get a third down play. We'll try Singleton will try running himself. Against a run defense. But he's not rated F, so he's going to get a gain out of it of 1 zone. 5 minutes to go. Singleton back to pass. Safe defense. That's going to be a completion because there's no defenders rated 2 for 2 zones. 4 minutes to go, and the San Antonio club is across midfield. Run sequence. Safe defense. Can Singleton get him on the board here? At least one player rated run 0 in the offensive backfield. That's almost certainly a yes. Lewis is a 1, but I believe Singleton's a 0 himself. So big play by the defender. Possible third down play here, though, if I roll an odd. Nope. So that will bring us to 3 minutes. Be a long field goal try, or should they go for it? What would they do? They probably would try get the kicker out there and see if the kicker can convert from. Well, let's see if they can even try it. Odd, they can try it. They can try it. So he will. He's AAA from that distance. So it will be 11-46. Should be able to make this. 44. He barely hooks it in. And we're tied at 16. At the 2-minute warning. Here's the kickoff, 2. So, let's see, 4 will be from zone 3. All right, so here comes Ben Charisse. Chance to win the game and earn himself a slot on the Detroit team card. I'll make the executive decision. If Ben Charisse gets him in field goal range and they kick the field goal, I'm putting him on I'm taking him off the fringe players and I'm putting him on the Detroit team. Just saying. All right, back to pass. Pass sequence, pass defense. 13. Is he deer better? He is. What is he anyway? He's AA. So, we do have a video review on this though. It's an XP gain, 4 zones. Got to check to see if it was actually caught though. 6 it was not. Oh, it was 4 zones. Look at this. Minute and a half to go. We'll try a run sequence here. They could just win the game. Practically. Safe defense. 63. Oh, it's a fumble. Oh, no. Oh, no. Video review. 6, it's not a fumble. They're checking it. It's a fumble. All right, and they'll kneel it out, and that'll be our ball game. 16-16 tie. Everybody's ready to just go home now. That's it. I mean, seriously. Wasn't that just like an exhibition game, though? I mean, honestly. So I don't know. I'll have to give Ben Charisse some consideration. Maybe I'll cut Jimmy Van Zell, who played miserably, and put Ben Charisse as the Detroit backup. We'll see. Okay. Thanks for hanging in with us on our exhibition game. Feels a lot like watching exhibition football on TV. Before we sign off the show, I did want to mention our current printing issues. I talked about this in today's Play Connect, which if you haven't checked out our e-newsletter, it's on our website under the blog heading, the Play Connect for today, 8/24/23. Because of our printing issues, we're going to have to delay the release of our tennis game, which is something we do not want to do. But I mean, we've put an image of the print output we're getting as part of the newsletter, and you can see nobody wants cards that looks like that. So we have a tech coming. We had hoped we'd hear from him today. We did not. Still hoping for tomorrow. Probably more likely be next week. We should be back up and running. At that point, we will begin cranking out the tennis games. But it's going to take us a while to get those up and running. We haven't been able to do any printing for about 2 weeks. Large format. This is all explained in our blog post. We are able to print a small format, just not large format at the current time. Sam, look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, I'm just going to have you make the distinction that we can print some things.
Right, we can print some things. Now, you may have noticed there's certain things that are out of stock now. You can't get a History Maker Baseball XL game book. A lot of the Play Now games are out of stock. The 75 all-time great golfers. All those are printed on our large format function of our printer, which is on the fritz right now. So until we can get that fixed, we can't do any of those things. Those are all out of stock. But again, good news. Well, two good news. First of all, good news. We should get this out of resolved by next week. The other good news is that we've juggled our release schedule. The Football America and the 1995 Scram season. They were scheduled to come out later in September. We're going ahead and releasing them now since we're able to print them. So this set will be available next week, as will the 95 Scram season. So, looking on the bright side, the silver lining to every cloud. But do read our Connect and check it out. There's also some great freebies in this month's newsletter, and you'll want to download those, I'm sure. That is our show for tonight. Next week we'll break out the brand new vintage 1995 Scram season, Wayne Montana's rookie season. He was not Rookie of the Year, though. I will tell you that. We'll find out who was Rookie of the Year. Next week we'll break out the set, give you a little history, a little background on some of the names are familiar. Some of them will ring a bell. Others are kind of totally unfamiliar, a different era. It's a new generation of Scram. We'll roll those out for you next week, and then we'll run the season opening Copper State 500 race from Desert Saguaro Speedway in the desert Southwest. It will be fun, so don't miss it next Thursday night. And bonus content tomorrow with another edition of the Game Garage, hosted by Sam. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we'll be diving into a game idea that actually originated in the 1970s, which we were clued into by play gamer Travis Jansen. So we will mess around with that tomorrow, unless the Konica Minolta guy shows up, in which case we'll probably cancel that because he'll be working on our equipment while Sam's doing that. Even then, we may do it. We'll see. But join us tomorrow for the Game Garage here on the Play YouTube channel. Until then, thanks for watching. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for being part of our amazing community. If we don't see you tomorrow, have an awesome weekend. And good night to you. And from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, where our final score was Detroit 16, San Antonio 16 in preseason Football America football. We'll see you again soon here in the Play Space.